Welcome to the house on Mango Street, but in 3D and not imaginary descriptions. Here I have 10 places that were described by the book and I have taken the time to build them. Just a little disclaimer, these builds might end up as, known to all, absolute trash. I'm more of a survivalist than a builder, so if you find anything that looks like literal garbage, just know that I barely started my building career. With that said, I shall now show you The House on Mango Street, written by Sandra Cisneros in Minecraft Java. The first house that looks like a mushroom is the house that Esperanca and her family live in, consisting of her mother and father, her brothers Carlos and Kiki, and her sister Nenny. The house was built based on the possibly her original house since it was destroyed, and by the cover of the book, so don't mark me on that please, since it's only my defense. The outside of the house consists of a garage, on the side of which is somewhat at the back, since the book said on the way back. I also added some vines to make it old, since it doesn't exist anymore. The house with iron doors to make up with the doors that had to be force pushed to get in, glass planes, and the quartz to red nether brick stairs to make this shape thing, I think, and red nether brick stairs for the entrance. Inside, you are greeted with red carpet that leads to upstairs. The stairs are made of black stone. Here you see the fridge, the used fridge that they bought at the junk store. And that's it. I didn't want to make too much time on making the shower and the bathroom, so you can call me on that, but those things were there too. Upstairs we have a shared room, which is set in the books, the beds representing the inhabitants, and that's it for the house tour. And now for the meaning. The reason that I built the house this way is that from the book it quotes, small and red, with tight steps in front and windows so small you think they were holding their breath, bricks crumbling in places, and front doors is so swollen that you have to push hard to get in. Out back is a small garage for a car we don't own yet. And now for the paragraph on why I built. She'll soon learn to be grateful for what she has, since other build like this make this a luxurious house. She may even bond with her family since they are literally close together. She'll also create memories that she'll remember, then might tell them to her grandchildren, her grand adventures she had and the people she met on Mango Street. Sometimes those with little are the happiest, my mother says, since people tend to co-op with the limited things they have, which makes them better people. Alright, up next is the dream house that Esperanca's parents were talking about when her father was holding the lottery ticket. The house is made up of smooth quartz and quart pillars with some black stone pattern to give it a look. It has a garage, bigger of course than the original house. It has some flowers and trees in front to make it look prettier. If you're asking what's on the inside, there's nothing. And then when you want to see upstairs, we don't talk about what I did because I didn't know what I was doing either. Forgive me. But there are 5 bedrooms, a living room, and 3 washrooms. Reading it from the book here, the people living here are the same characters from the mushroom house, which are Esperanca's mother and father, Carlos and Kiki, Nenny and Esperanca. The quote that proves this is this one that reads, "They always told us that one day we will move into a house, a real house that would be ours for always, so we wouldn't have to move each year. And our house would have running water and pipes that work, and inside it will have real stairs, not hallway stairs, but stairs inside like the house on TV, and we'll have a basement, at least 3 washrooms, so when we took a bath we wouldn't have to tell anybody." I didn't add a basement, but it's there. Our house will be white with trees around it, a great big yard, and a grass growing without a fence. This is the house Mom and Papa talked about when he held the lottery ticket, and this was the house Mama dreamed up in stories she told us before we went to bed. Though I did not add a basement since only the outside is described. Since I'm guessing everyone will have their own rooms, I added 5 rooms too on my speculations here. The reason why I built it is because even though the expectation of living in a big house doesn't stop just because it was the only one they could move into fast since the pipes from the other house were broken. She can still dream in living in the dream house. Like her parents said, it's temporary. What I came to learn is that you have to be patient to get what you want. Even though the video game in Mind Caves was old, it still brought me happiness since I finally got what I really wanted. This next one I'm not proud of since it makes the place look bad, but I had to since it makes up my point. It is a house that looks like it is from Mexico, in which the house looks like this is offensive to my blood origins. The house looks like they used anything they found. The fences are made with iron bars, oak fences, and just planks of all kinds. The bricks cracked, filled with moss, and even white to know how old they are. The roof is black stone and mossy bricks. Who lives there is unknown. The quotes that support this is, one day we were in the house that looked, in my mind, the house that I've seen in Mexico. I have seen in Mexico. Now I know that you're thinking that it is offensive to make Mexico appear that way and that I am a traitor and yada yada yada. My bad, wrong joke. But looking outside seeing homeless people 24/7 building their houses with whatever they can get is needed in my reason to prove that Esperanca needs to be grateful with what she has, since taking it for granted makes her no better than the nobles back then. To fix my character, here are some beautiful houses from Mexico. Please forgive me and do not come to my house. Alright, the next is the junk store where Esperanca got her used fridge and probably most of her furniture, since there is no other stories mentioned in the book. Stores, oh my bad, made with polished andesite as the pillars and stone bricks, and one singular stained gray window that makes it look greasy on the inside. Inside are aisles, bookshelves, and the fridge at the back with cobwebs to make it look old, and functioning redstone, which only used when you buy something. Get it? Since the seller won't turn it on unless you actually buy something. The quote that'll redeem me from this terrible joke is, there is a junk store. An old man runs it. We bought a used refrigerator from him once. The store is small with just a dirty window for light. He doesn't turn on the light unless you have money to buy something with. So in the dark we look. And yes, it is pretty dark. The reason why this was built small, sorry, I'll stop for now, was the only reason to show how having too much may corrupt someone and make them just to keep for themselves. Not saying that the old man was just mean, just a perfect example. But buying from the store will probably change her perspective from being shameful, from being in those places, to actually save and use things. I do, since it still works, but don't do now because the king is waiting to reside in your body. I will never stop with the jokes. You can't get rid of my humor. Up next is Meme's house, or meme, if you know what I'm talking about, which I'm sure you do. Hopefully. Made out of wood with black stone as the roof. 21 stairs, but that would make the house too big and I'm too lazy, so I made it 8. So you get the picture. A ruined garage at the side at the back of the house. A backyard with a dark oak tree and the ground made out of coarse dirt bordered up with some smooth black stone walls. The people who live there are Meme, his mother, and his dog with 2 names. The quotes here are, it is wooden. Inside the floors slant, some rooms uphill, some down, and there are no closets. Up front are 21 steps, all lopsided and jutting like crooked teeth. Around the back is a yard, mostly dirt, a greasy bunch of boards that used to be a garage, but you remember mostly is the tree, huge with fat arms and mighty families of squirrels in the higher branches. The reason why I built this was because the house wasn't in a pretty spot, since it was on a hill, which is not great because I slept on a slope before on the ground. That wasn't great, and you get back pains and it's rough, which makes a good example of why Esperanza should appreciate her house more, since even though her house is crumbling, it can still be fixed, unlike Meme's house. Not that we're done with Meme's house. We're not done with Meme's house yet, since there is a basement under, having dirt walls and bedrock floors, some books and a patterned carpet. People that live here are Louie's mother and father, Louie's sisters, which the numbers are unknown, and Louie himself, also his cousin Marine. The quote here is, downstairs from Meme's house is a basement apartment that Meme's mother fixed up and rented to a Puerto Rican family, Louie's family. Reason why I built this was because Louie's situation of being in one room with his family, he might become Esperanza's best friend, talking about how annoying their siblings are and how they can make their lives space a little better. This building is the offspring of that junk store, because now we have a corner store owned by a couple which gets mad when you lean on the candy shelf. Wonder which that one is. It's made with acacia planks, logs, and wood, with a Diorite as the roof. Yes, this is Diorite, and this texture pack makes it look beautiful. So shut up. This quote used in this place is, Benny and Blanca own the corner store. They're okay, except don't lean on the candy counter. I wonder which one it is. Or did I not build it? Nah, who cares? This place will be another store Esperanza would visit, since it's the same street she is in, I think. I don't know. I just built it. Memories about fooling around in there would be made, and the interesting things that she could buy, like candy or just figures she randomly found. Either way, she'll learn how to spend her money well. Up next is the Diorite Castle, made of pure diorite. This is the precious blood church. Inhabitants are unknown, and of course made out of diorite, so you can see that it's made out of diorite. I'm sorry, diorite. Not sorry, I will say diorite to the end, and you will not change that. Of course, with a nether star and clock to make the clock and the cross. I also added a beacon for the holy light and stuff, you know, when the baby was born and Jesus came up and like wham wham. Really thought this one out. But it's not about the church. No. It's about the baptism party where Esperanza was at, which is surprisingly under the church, because I don't know where it was at. In this place, Esperanza, her mother and uncle were there. Also, one of her cousins were there too, since I think that was his party. I don't know. Someone got baptized and party happened. I added some chairs which were deleted when I removed all entities. I am sorry, but I got lazy and so everything was deleted. I also added some ores to make it look underground, since it's a flat world and I'm breaking the law right now. I also added a jukebox to play some music on. Let me just plop this here, and isn't this great? A quote that supports this one is, now Uncle Nacho is coming in his car and we have to hurry to get to the precious blood church quickly, because that's where the baptism party is. Basement rented for today for dancing and tamales. The reason I chose to build this was because this is the first time Esperanza ever feels like a princess when she was tricked by her uncle Nacho. The problem was that she hated her feet, since 1, she did not have the correct shoes for her dress, and 2, her feet were starting to swell. But Uncle Nacho comes here and tells Esperanza to dance with him, which, if you did not know, boosts her self-esteem, because he used the swine's words of, you are beautiful, come dance with me. Which of course will convince any girl, not really. For her not to care what she will look like and just have fun, and will help her do more things than any other self-cautious person there is. This must be my best explanation so far, don't you think? These last 2 places were special ones, especially the one that I'm gonna show you next, which I really want to. It took 3 dimensions to build 10 places. Amazing, right? It's great. I thought, why not use the other worlds Minecraft can give you to get more creativity in your system, since all these builds were bland. Yes, I acknowledge that. They were also lazy, so I hope these last 2 builds give you at least a good laugh, as I'm about to show them to you. We shall enter one of these portals, and the portal that I walked into seemed to have spawned in a Nether. How bad does this have to be? And oh my gosh! It's... yes! The nightmare to every kid on this planet. School! This piece of garbage. No, I mean it. This build is absolute garbage. Made on purpose, of course. Is the school where we meet Darius, I think. I don't know. I just built the school because it's mentioned a lot. All we know is that Darius is one of the person to go to this school, since the books don't say that Esperanca goes there, but everyone knows to put 2 pieces together. So I too will say that she intended it in this school too, made of nether and red nether bricks. Some blue and red fire is a horrifying place, with warp and crimson slabs as the roof. I also added some blue and red fire to give it more detail. As you can see, there is nothing inside, since it is too small to even have 1 classroom. How lazy am I? I don't know. This does show you, I don't know what will. These quotes are more of people's opinion of school, more than just having quote about the actual school. Darius, who doesn't like school. Yes, I use that quote. I am pretty bad. And the other one is young and smart and studies for the first time at a university, 2 trains and a bus, because she doesn't want to spend her whole life in the factory behind a rolling pin, which is understandable. The reason why I built this was because one of the quote I just recently quoted, which is from Alicia, who sees mice, in which it refers to Alicia. In that quote, I should have added the name. I know. She wants more from life than just having to do what her father wants her to do, which can inspire Esperanca to buy the house herself, since she will put time and effort for her studies, which will repay her for her hard work. This last and final one takes place in the end. Yes, I have beaten Minecraft. Thank you. I will celebrate once this video is over. You may be wondering, why did I choose the end? The reason why I chose the end, cause, come on my dude, this is the last build. I need the last build to be in the end. Y'all can never escape this jokester. Never. This last one, wait for it, an apartment. Yes, it is very exciting, along with everything that I built. But I'm actually proud of this one, since I actually put effort on it, unlike the rest of the builds. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Especially the school and that other one. Built by Endstone, light blue terracotta, and again, Diorite, because it's the only whitest white in the texture pack. I built it in an End City vibe using purple panes and end rods. Purple pillars at the sides and purple slabs as the roof. There is no inside except for an end portal with the glitch bug, whatever it is, technique that I discovered myself, yet I don't know if anyone else beat me to it. I'll leave it in the icon thing right there. You see that? You'll learn from that. I made a nice build with it, making an easy way to exit the end, like the emergency exit we have today. This quote comes from Edna's Ruthie, which says, the chapter Edna's Ruthie, which says, the lady who owns the big building next door, 3 apartments, front and back. Yes, it's the end. Clearly, this building next to Esperanca's house and has 3 apartments. I made it 4 because it's more natural, and I made it the end because the end. The reason I built this apartment was because she can relate to the residents there. There are no room for themselves having to worry about the neighbors and the wall that the hole that I just made, and the portal having to worry for rent. Esperanca doesn't have that lifestyle anymore, except for the rooms to themselves part. Now she can say that she has a house of her own, not the one that she wanted, of course, but one she can mostly do without concerns, do whatever she wants without concerns of other people being annoyed. At last, this concludes the tour. Thank you for listening and watching with your judgmental eyes. I mean, come on, cut me some slack here. I'm just a boy who wants to live a normal life. This epidemic has made me scarred for life. Hope you have a Merry Christmas and good day, lads.
This was the reason why I took so long to post anything, actually, because I was so concentrating on this. But yeah, I was lazy and rushed it. So subscribe if you like it, leave a like, subscribe to see more, and please support. I don't care if you trash talk about this, because I guess you can call it a beta. I may edit this like an updated version. I don't know. It's up to you guys. All right. Cheers.